All right, beloved Madridistas, welcome back to Madrid. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, Solly and Stephane and I just got back from the Bernabeu. Fantastic experience. Yeah, really, really cool. The game itself, look, we're going to get their opinion because these guys really know their football, and I think it's fascinating to hear what they have to say. I think we had 20, 25 good minutes in the first half. They coincided, I think, with Arda playing in the 10 position. Afterwards, our play deteriorated. I think the changes didn't help very much. And I think we finished the match with a kind of shambolic structure. It felt very chaotic, but we managed to get the 3 points, which is, at this point, probably all we can hope for, just to kick the can forward and keep things going and at least stay competitive in the competitions until we can get our play together. But, okay, let me start with Stephane. Stephane, your overall impression of the match, how did you see it?
It's just an amazing feeling to watch these players live. We've seen them on TV, and we don't really realize the impact they have in a game. So I'm gonna give my flowers to Camavinga and Valverde.
Yeah.
Other players were doing great, but these two were just amazing. And it's a bit strange. This is not their natural positions. Why are they so good in those positions? And in the midfield, they're not giving like what we expect from them. But today, their game was just amazing, and you could see they are playing not only with the quality, but with the love of the shirts.
Yeah,
that was the most important things that I've noticed.
Yeah, they did. The intensity level I thought was very acceptable. I think everybody worked really hard. It didn't translate into great play, but I got the feeling also that they were really, really fighting. What do you think, Solly? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think overall the first half was tentative, leading up to a little bit slow, but then eventually they kind of got into it. Vinny scoring like a really good goal, and we kind of got into the game a little bit more. We could see like some better play, but then I think towards the end of the first half, then it kind of slowed down again. The intensity and the heart just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things like who's taking responsibilities in these situations, right? So we kind of saw we did actually see it with Valverde first half, leading, being the captain, and I think first half was definitely better than the second half.
Yeah.
Second half, I think for me, because I think with Arbeloa coming in, things are new, as a new manager and everything, and you want to take it easy on him. And I think most Madrid players and most Madrid fans have done that. But I think in the second half, it was a really big mistake, the changes he made.
Yeah.
Because it kind of ruined the formation.
Yeah. The
players didn't really know what to do. So that's what we got in the kind of second half. So overall, the experience itself was amazing, seeing them live. So,
but who would you say are your sort of top 2-3 players in Real Madrid today?
Today, I think I'm with Steph. Like Valverde, definitely. First half, amazing. Second half, really good. And then Camavinga, man the match, for sure. Like for me, I would have liked to see Camavinga go into midfield in the second half because he was kind of he was doing it in the first half.
Yeah.
So when we ended up with a midfield of like Brahim, Güler, and Ceballos, like I was just like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
There's no physicality there whatsoever.
Yeah.
They're not going to add any intensity.
Yeah.
So not having a Valverde there, not having like a Camavinga there, it was just a bit too much.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Camavinga definitely Fede. Fede was always very, very consistent. I thought Arda had a good first half. Especially when he was playing further up. He made a lot of really, really nice passes. He connects very well with the forwards. But then the second that he was pushed back, then I think his contribution just sort of fell off. I just don't think he's a player that should be playing in a pivot position. I think he needs to play as a number 10. Okay, and then in terms of sort of the weakest link, who was the weakest link today in your view?
Well, we said it last night.
Yesterday. You sure want to say it again?
Well, I can say it again. But once again, Tchouaméni is just like not useful in a pitch, and he didn't follow. He didn't even know where his player was on the goal. So I would say Tchouaméni is the weakest link.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mastantuono again. I think with the last 2 matches, he's driving me crazy because he's always looking for the individual option. He cuts to the inside sometimes, and even then he has 3 players tracking him, but I don't think he's circulating the ball quickly enough. He's not really playing for the flow. He's kind of stops things and ends up losing the ball more often than not. So I thought Mastantuono was probably the player that I would have subbed, the first one. And who's your weakest link, Solly?
I think I'll go with the both of you. Yeah, Tchouaméni and Mastantuono. What I would say about Mastantuono, like he is young and he's been playing quite poorly. So I was actually quite surprised that he started this game. And seeing him, like he just wasn't confident because every pass was either side or going back, or he's making like poor touches. So I think actually starting him was probably not the best thing.
Yeah.
And then now, Tchouaméni, same thing. Second half, I don't know if Asensio was injured, that he had to go off. But Tchouaméni going into our centre back position, I think if we really need it, he can help us. But I just don't think we need him there, honestly, because the goal was partly his fault, right? He didn't track his man. Yeah. Valverde, of course, the ball went over quite easily, but Valverde was working hard the whole game. But Tchouaméni in that instance, I think, for example, Asensio would have covered that.
Right.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, maybe somebody else regarding that center back position. Yeah. Alaba maybe coming on or something.
Yeah, Tchouaméni hates to play center back, and it's funny, we have so many players that play in positions they hate.
Yeah.
Fede hates playing right back, Camavinga hates playing left back, Arda hates playing a number 8, everybody's playing in a position that they don't like. It's a total shambles. Yeah. And tell me, what did you think, Stephane, of Kylian today?
He ran through the game as a ghost. He had an occasion to score the goal when he dribbled the goalkeeper and to avoid all the stress at the end. Good thing he scored that goal. The penalty, I was a bit surprised he didn't catch the ball straight away to take the penalty. I saw Rodrigo holding it. Yeah. Was he trying to protect Mbappe from just the goalkeeper, trying to talk in his ear? Yeah. I don't know. But I was expecting more leadership from him. Yeah. Especially when we're suffering in the second half. Yeah. Didn't see that, but at the end of the day, he scored a goal. Yeah. And the Mbappe fans going to be happy.
Yeah. He always manages to avoid criticism because he scores so many goals. Yeah. What did you think of Kylian?
So I think the first 10 minutes, you could see him encouraging the team. We weren't necessarily pressing high, but you could see him trying to encourage the team just to do a little bit of pressing, to add a little bit more intensity. So that was good to see, and that's really what we wanted to see the whole game, right? Yeah. But it kind of went down a little bit, leading up to Vinny's goal, and then after Vinny's goal, he just kind of went silent. Yeah. He wasn't making as much runs. But also just the effort. Yeah. So let's say, for example, with Xavi, you would see Mbappe dropping deep on the ball quite a lot, right? Yeah. And for me, I don't like Mbappe in those positions. Yeah. But I think there is times when your superstar needs to get on the ball. Yeah. If he's not getting the ball for whatever reason,
go somewhere else to pick it up.
Exactly. Yeah. So the fact where you didn't see that, it's like why is he not taking that responsibility?
Yeah, he felt a little bit disconnected to me. He felt isolated. He felt it didn't feel like he was in the thread, in the flow of play. He felt very kind of isolated. And then when he got the ball, he was always really well marked. So he didn't have a lot of space. Now, what did you think of Vini today?
I really actually enjoyed his first half. His first half was amazing. Reminds me of the previous Vinicius. The goal was just amazing. We started shouting, why is he not giving it to Brian? And got inside, dribble one, cut back again, and then silenced the whole Bernabeu, and they clapped him. Yeah. Which means, like you said earlier to us on off, the Bernabeu is fair. Yeah. When you do the right thing, they're gonna clap you. Yeah. If you're not doing the right thing, they're gonna whistle you. Yeah. And today there was a good example of Vini understanding what the Bernabeu is expecting from him. Yeah. So very good first half. I think the second half, it's not entirely his fault. I think Arbeloa messes up the whole rhythm and the whole chemistry in the squad. But a good game overall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because Vini in the early minutes, and by the way, I posted some of the whistles in the short. I put up some shorts. Every time Vini got the ball at the beginning, he was getting whistled. After the goal, they left him alone.
Yes.
And but that's the message that, you know, this is what we want from you, you know, and then they backed off. And then towards the end, I think maybe a few started to come back. Any thoughts on Vini?
I think it's the inconsistency
Yeah.
that is frustrating. I think majority of people, myself, because we know Vini is good.
Yeah.
Nobody's doubting his
Yeah.
abilities, but it's just why are you not being consistent game in after every single game, right? So he scored the goal today, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think like Vini is on it today, but then he just kind of dwindled a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah.
you know. And then second half, I think he was he tried like. What I was saying before with Mbappe not necessarily getting on the ball, right? Vini was getting on the ball and trying to make something happen,
Yeah.
right? So that's the responsibility I want those two people to kind of have, right,
Yeah.
for Real Madrid. But I think, second half, Arbeloa really messed up big time.
Yeah, he did, and I want to ask you guys about that because the changes did not help our play. Which of the changes do you think was the most unfortunate?
So we have a striker that is good in the box. And I spent the whole second half when he came on the right wing. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
No sense. Yeah.
No sense at all that at some point he was the one tracking the
Tracking
striker.
back, yeah.
And he did well. You know, he couldn't do much, but he still did it until and Costa made a good save after this. Very pleased with that. But I'm sorry, I need Gonzalo Garcia in the box.
In the middle.
And regardless of like Mbappe would still score. He could be on the right, could be on the
Yeah.
left. He would still score. I need Gonzalo in the middle. It doesn't make sense that at some point Chouameni was even higher
Yeah.
than Gonzalo Garcia. What is happening?
And also, especially in a match where you have to score a goal and time is running out and you're going to have to put balls in the box. You don't have time to do all the 1-2s and the triangle. You just need to be more direct. And if you're going to be more direct, you need Gonzalo in the box. That's where he makes a difference. Which of the changes pissed you off the most?
You already took mine.
Yeah, we all agree.
Yeah, like I think what we saw in the final stages, like the stoppage time, you actually saw Mbappe now moving to the right side and
Yeah.
having Gonzalo Garcia a little bit more up front.
Yeah.
And then there, once again, it makes sense, right? So same thing. It's like if we're gonna use Gonzalo Garcia, like put him in as a striker. If
Yeah.
you're not gonna put him as a striker, don't have him on
Yeah.
the pitch because there's literally no point.
I agree.
Like playing right back, why?
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's
So besides that, I think actually that was the main one for me.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you guys, so in terms of seeing the players live, which is always a different feeling because you can you see the physicality. Which of the players impressed you most sort of from a physical standpoint?
Valverde, absolutely.
He's a machine.
He's a machine. He's a beast. Camavinga as well. First half, like Arda actually was very good.
It was good, yeah.
Coincidence or not, as soon as unfortunately Jude came off with injury, you could see like Arda was taking on the lead in the midfield.
Yeah.
But then second half, obviously what happened with the change in Asensio coming off, Chouameni dropping.
Going to centre back.
Arda also dropped a little bit. That ruins the chemistry of the game. But yeah, and the introduction of Rodrigo also made more technical abilities in the midfield.
Yeah.
I don't know what position he was playing.
Yeah, I don't either.
It worked. It worked for some reason.
Yeah.
Very good game.
And what? So physically, did anybody impress
Physically,
you?
big time. Like because we were literally Valverde was on the touchline.
Right there, yeah.
We're right there, and just to see his stature, his presence, right? And actually, what we're talking about before, Chouameni, big, massive, but he doesn't have that presence.
That's true.
You know, so if he has that kind of presence that Valverde has, and he has that in midfield, then he'll be a lot more better player.
Yeah.
So I think Valverde, but then also Gonzalo Garcia. When you see him, massive dude, powerful. I was like, those are athletes right there. You know,
Absolutely.
and the fact we're not using them correctly is a little bit of a shame.
Yeah.
You know, so and I think as well Mbappe in terms of how rapid he is. He's built, like you can tell he's built for like speed.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
yeah. So definitely, yeah.
Yeah, he's quick. You notice in the when you watch it, you see how quick. When Kylian turns, when he spins, he's just so quick. He's so crazy quick. So in terms of in terms of a lineup now with the players that we have available, what would your lineup be? I mean, would you have played today? Camavinga played left back. Carreras didn't play. But if you sort of what would be your sort of defensive line? What would be your lineup now? If, with the players that are available.
Well, there was some plays in the first half that I really enjoyed. It was when Camavinga was now coming inside in the midfield position, and you had the Hoysens going left back and Tchouaméni dropping down as a centre back. I think like Camavinga was doing that left position like very well in that. Now I still believe Carreras deserves to play as a left back.
Yeah.
So I would move Camavinga in the middle.
Back to the pivot, yeah.
And probably because Asensio unfortunately cannot finish games lately. So maybe Tchouaméni would go back as a centre back, even though it's not my best options.
Yeah.
Or eventually try Alaba, because Alaba, when he came on,
he's coming back. Yeah. He's coming back slowly. Yeah.
Masnacholo needs to be out.
Would
you go on the right side like Vini left and Mbappe middle and Arda, because obviously now Jude is injured, so Arda, Kama and somebody's missing there.
Yeah. Well, out of that, it would be out of that Kama and then Jude, but now Jude is injured. So, and by the way, another thing I wanted to ask you, because I thought Hoysen's first half was okay. What did you think of Hoysen?
Hoysen, first half was good. Like for myself, I think I'm not on his back as some other people are. I think he's been under a lot of pressure, and it's been a little bit tricky in the back. But I think first half was good. Second half was not so good. And I think the main thing with Hausen is that he's trying to progress the ball.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to find those passes, but they're just not going through.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe as he starts to learn a little bit more, to like when to make those passes, like we will see him distributing those balls like absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, because when he first started with Xavi, he was doing a lot of that. A lot of deep balls, low but very deep, looking for through balls and stuff. By the way, since you live in Holland, clarify this for us. Is it Hoysen or Hausen?
Hausen.
Hausen.
Yeah.
Hausen.
Hausen.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was okay. All right. Well, we won't be making that mistake anymore. Hausen it is. Fantastic. And Courtois saved us yet again.
Oh yeah. You mentioned earlier, he has his presence.
Incredible.
He's a wall.
He's a character.
He's so intimidating. I mean, if you're running, you have a 1v1, and Courtois is coming at you. Like, I think you just want to hide. I think he's going to eat me.
With Courtois. So I think he does this every game, but seeing it was really amazing because there was some players who stayed a little bit longer when the game finished. Courtois took his time just going around the whole pitch, clapping every single Madrid fan. And I was like, wow, man, that's honestly that's leadership. Right
absolutely.
there. So you can see how influential he is in the dressing room by just like an act like this.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that's something that's lacking is the kind of just a leadership, that thing that Sergio Ramos had and Kroos had, this kind of presence, and Carvajal should be doing more of it as well. But the players need to step up. I mean, if Camavinga has 2 Champions Leagues already, Vini is a player that has 2 Champions Leagues already. These guys have seniority; they already have a lot under their belt, So you expect a little bit more leadership out of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in terms of La Liga, based on what you're seeing now, do you think that we managed to turn things around, or do you think that this season is a wash, or do you see any hope of this gelling?
I think they can stumble to the finish line because it's 1 point behind Barcelona. Barcelona are also making some mistakes as well. So I think they can still compete towards the very end in La Liga. Champions League is going to be very, very difficult. Because even, for example, there's a mismatch in the player profiles and the systems and everything, but they're still good enough for La Liga, right? For La Liga. But when they come up against a team that's going to put intensity on them, like Benfica, Man City,
Yeah.
Liverpool, your Arsenals last season. That is when they are really struggling because they just don't have any answers whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know. So La Liga, I think we're going to be there fighting to the very end.
Yeah, we seem to be very vulnerable to the press. I think this year when we get pressed, we lose the ball really easily. Mm-hmm. We seem really susceptible to the press. How do you think the season pans out in La Liga and the Champions League?
Well, we don't have that much hope in Champions League, but never bet against Real Madrid. This is Real Madrid.
That's it.
But I'd say they should focus on La Liga. We can't let Barcelona win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. And I would say something. A month ago, with Xabi Alonso, we would have lost that game.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure we would have lost. This gives me a hope for the future, because at the end of the day, that's character. That shows character from the players. We know, like, the second half with Shambolic, it should have been better. I'm going to blame Arbeloa for that. The changes didn't have the players, but at the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and I believe there is hope for this team.
Yeah, I think tactically it was shambolic, but I do agree that in terms of energy and intensity, there seems to be more there than under Xavi. Under Xavi, you always got the feeling they were giving up, or letting down their guard. But today I felt like they fought. They fought a lot. Mm-hmm. They had the right attitude. Mm-hmm. Now up front, what would you do up front? Would you do Vini, Kylian, Rodrigo? What would be your top 3 up front?
That's a good question.
Or would you do Kylian on the left, Gonzalo in the middle, and Brahim on the right? Or like what combination up front would you use?
Vini for this season. Vini and Mbappe need to play. Okay, so you would have Vini on the left, Mbappe on the right, and then Gonzalo Garcia in the middle.
That's interesting.
Because I think, trying it out to see if it works, because Gonzalo Garcia is a really good striker. And is exactly what we need, right? Yeah. So we can test that out. The trio, Mbappe, Vini, and Rodrigo, it didn't work last season. It can work this season under Arbeloa with some new instructions and everything. So I think those two lines
work.
up.
Could work.
Yeah, he needs to test it and see. But I think now with Masanto Ono, I've also kind of like given up a little bit on Masanto Ono. I'm sorry,
frustrating. It's just getting frustrating.
He needs to be benched for like a few games.
I didn't understand that. I was convinced after the Benfica match. I was convinced that Rodrigo would start. I don't understand that. Or Brahim on the right, because he can play that. What would you do in the front? Would you experiment maybe with Kylian on the right? Because I'm sure he can do it. We haven't seen it.
Well, he used to play in that position in Monaco, so that's an option. But it seems that this is not going to happen. Like today was the best example. Kylian will always stay in the middle. In the middle. So Rodrigo on the right, Vini on the left, and Mbappe in the middle.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. And do you think, you think Arbeloa stays through to the end of the year, but then next year definitely out?
Is it 5 games?
I think 4 or 5.
Is it 4 or 5?
I don't think they'll take him. I think they'll keep him until the end of the season.
Exactly.
But if he does do well and we turn things around, do you think that they would keep him, or? It's a tough one. Yeah,
it's a tough one, because I think maybe going for an experienced manager will probably be the best thing for Madrid, or another version of Xabi Alonso, who's like already won something, and then coming to the dressing room. Because now, when things are gonna get tough, it's like, okay, how are these players going to respond to Arbeloa? Right. So that manager kind of has to have that pedigree. Yeah. So I think just somebody coming in with experience. With just different ideas of how to make the system work. But I think for him to essentially get the job next season, he would have to do extremely well. Yeah. So that would be like the finals of like Champions League, or winning the Champions League or something,
Yeah, you think now, and who would you, if Arbeloa finishes the season but doesn't set the world on fire, who would you bring?
It's a very interesting subject, because I have no names that come to replace Arbeloa. Who knows? It all depends on the end of the season. Well, some people talk about Mourinho coming back. I don't think it's with those players. It's not going to work for sure. Always
They don't run enough. They don't
he's
run
going to have
enough.
to get rid of half of them. I don't think Tuchel what's Klopp, sorry, would come. I think thinking after the World Cup, maybe checking if Tuchel will still be the manager of the national team. But that means that Jude would definitely be leaving. And also Emery could be an option.
Yeah, Emery. People are talking about Unai Emery these days. And then, okay, last question. I'll make this one really tricky. If you had to get rid of two players,
Nice.
who would, if you had to get rid of two players, based on what you've seen, they, whether they're starters or on the bench, doesn't matter. If you wanted to recycle two players, who would they be?
Two, yeah, definitely.
There's more.
Tchouaméni and Mastantuono.
Tchouaméni and Mastantuono. Okay, that's fair enough.
The two players to bring in,
to get rid of.
To get rid of, okay. Vinny. You get rid of Vinny.
Wow.
Mbappe on the left. We
left.
get our striker, whether it's going to be Gonzalo Garcia or whoever to play that position. And then midfield needs to be sorted out because there's also an issue there.
Yeah.
So the current crop of midfielders we have now, at least one needs to go.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be Valverde.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Bellingham.
Right.
So then, Arda Güler. That's the thing as well as he's doing. There's just barriers in front of him. Because if Güler is there, then it just changes the midfield completely.
Yeah.
So I think now in that midfield you have to accommodate Valverde and Bellingham, or Bellingham and two other midfielders. Right. So I think that's how I see kind of bring the flow back into Real Madrid, and not having these clashes.
Coming for you.
The Turkish army will be invading your house.
I love Güler. He's doing amazing.
He's a great player.
Creatively as a 10, amazing. But now the problem is we have Jude there.
Yeah.
So it's like we're trying to have our cake and eating it too.
But this is the problem. I did a video about this where I put the players on the pitch and where they want to play. And on the left, you've got Vini and Kylian and Rodrigo. They all want to play on the left. And in the middle, you have Enrique and Gonzalo. And then, but if you look, and then Arda and Jude both want to play 10. Neither of them wants to play 8. So we have a problem that we brought players that half of the players are playing in positions they don't like. They're good players, and I'm glad that we brought them because they're good players. But the pieces don't fit. Do
you think it can work? Like as it is right now.
I think
if the right manager comes in, for example.
I think it could work, but I think that you have to decide where people play and give them consistency. I think Arda should play in number 10, and that is the position that he plays. And I think Jude has to get used to playing in 8, and that is the position that he plays, whether he likes it or not. If Vini stays, he's going to have to stay on the left. That means Kylian is going to have to stay as number 9. And then that means that Rodrigo, if he wants minutes, he has to play on the right. There's just no other option. And then you have Brahim wants the right, Mastantuono wants the right wing. It's a mess. And and sometimes you have to push them into the 10 position. I mean, today you saw Rodrigo playing he was playing between Vini and Kylian a little bit further back. So he was playing like another 10. I've never seen that before either.
And they weren't even linking up very well. That's the thing. They're so close to each other. Still
and then you have Gonzalo, who's a natural number 9, playing on the right wing. Like the problem with the group of players that we brought is that they're all wonderful, but they don't fit. It just doesn't fit. So I don't know. I would start. If I needed to clean house, I'd start with Ceballos. I start with Ceballos, and then I would tell Mastantuono that he's a lovely kid, but maybe another time. So I would probably start with those. But what you say about Vini is interesting because if Vini weren't on the left wing and Kylian went to the left, then you start to open things up in a more natural way, because then you can play in natural number 9, Gonzalo, and things maybe start to look a bit more normal if you do that. So, yeah, it's a hodgepodge. I mean, the last 15 minutes, I don't know what formation we were playing. I don't know. I don't know who was playing where. It was very, very confusing.
it's so weird to see Real Madrid with no identity
Yeah.
on the pitch right now.
Yeah.
We clearly don't have an identity.
Yeah.
We don't know what is our strength and clearly don't know what is our weaknesses. Abel needs to do something about it. I know he's only here like temporarily,
Yeah.
but something needs to happen.
Yeah.
And definitely what we just witnessed, because that's shambolic.
Is it shambolic? Yeah, it's shambolic. All right. Okay. Well, look. I guess that we got the 3 points, and I think we need to celebrate that, which is already a move in the right direction. But anyway, those are our thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the presence of these two young men. I thought it was so much fun to have them over.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it was a pleasure. And
Thank you to
no, and
this is
you guys brought.
amazing.
Well, the audience loves it. You guys, your input, everybody really thought was interesting, and it's so cool to get different opinions. So, they're sick of hearing me. So this was refreshing for everybody. But thank you guys for coming, and I hope it won't be the last time.
Yes.
Okay. And thank you guys for watching. Love all of you, and as always and forever, a la Madrid.
A la Madrid.